No, thank you.
You're finished? Thank you. Okay. Dr. David Clark.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm delighted to take a call on this bill, which raises some serious concerns for this side of the House about the government's commitment to democracy. Disappointed not to hear too many contributions from the government side of the House defending it, and I look forward to hearing from the Minister and the Chair shortly, who I'm sure has a valuable contribution to make on this matter. It is certainly the case that good heads in the South need to be giving this consideration and feeding back just why it is that this legislation, why it is that this decision cannot be taken sooner, why full democracy cannot be restored to the people of Canterbury sooner, why Nick Smith's promises to make sure that the council elections in Canterbury would take place in late 2013 are not going to be honoured. It is a disgrace. It is another broken promise by this government. It's a government that talked about, in its early days, having higher standards, that talked about a brighter future, and how that language has disappeared from the vocabulary. How it has disappeared from the vocabulary. We're hearing from the other side that it's been delivered. So I'd ask the people of New Zealand to judge whether they think that this has been delivered, whether a brighter future has been delivered. Real per capita wages have dropped under this government, and that means, if we take out the technical terms, that people are hurting because the cost of living has gone up and wages haven't kept pace. Inequalities are greater than they've ever been, and I don't think that represents a brighter future by any stretch of a long bow. It's also a government that promised not to raise GST and then promptly did. It fits into the pattern of broken promises, it's fair to say, and we see that the wage gap with Australia that was promised to be closed has this week been announced to have gone up 50% since this government took office in 2008. We're seeing 1,000 Kiwis a week leave for Oz. So this is, I guess, in a way, typical of a government that is becoming in the habit of breaking promises. It does have the worst economic record of any government in New Zealand in the last 50 years, as I've been reminded from the other side of the House. But Nick Smith was very clear, even in his cabinet papers, that he proposed that this election be deferred until such time as commissioners have satisfactorily addressed the immediate issues facing ECAN, but no later than the local body elections scheduled for late 2013. Now that is not what we're seeing here, and it's a great disappointment because we on this side of the House value democracy. We think it is the appropriate way to make sure that we have the leaders in charge of making sure that populations' interests are taken account of. And so we think it's a disgrace that this isn't happening. The Chief Human Rights Commissioner, David Rutherford, submitted that the view of the Human Rights Commission continues to be that the undemocratic way in which the original legislation was introduced and its continuance is simply wrong from a human rights perspective. So we have condemnation from those who have examined the issue. We have a gut feeling, we have an uprising in Christchurch and thereabouts saying that this is just wrong, and we have many other examples that we could draw to mind. Councillor Glenn Livingston has said there's strong feelings in the city over the issue, and that's been galvanised by the debacle over the restructuring of Christchurch's schools. There is a groundswell of feeling here. There is a view that is shared by the people of Canterbury and shared by all of those people that are concerned for democracy. We need this government to stump up. We need it to announce that there will be proper elections, and we need it to honour its promises. We've seen it break too many promises, and the people of New Zealand are disappointed, particularly those who did support this government once upon a time, are disappointed that it is failing to deliver. They feel that they have been let down by this government, and rightly so. We see that people are urging those of us, I was out there in the street collecting asset sales signatures not so long ago, urging us to petition for an early election because people believe in democracy and they are getting sick and tired of this government. So, Mr. Chair, I just want to say that this is something that needs urgent attention. We need basic democratic rights restored, and we need the new Minister of Local Government to step up.
Call the Honourable Ruth Dyson.
Chairman, I'm very pleased to take a call in part 2 of the